It's the way things exist, Buddha says. You know, the dependent arising or dependent origination is maybe the shorthand for how things exist conventionally, and emptiness is shorthand for how things exist ultimately. And Buddha would say that they are like the flip sides of the same coin. So why we have to understand these is because Buddha's saying right now in our mind, the set of states of mind that they would refer to as delusions or neurotic states of mind or misconceptions or emotional afflictions, these words, these are the cause of our suffering. They're the cause of our suffering because they're misconceptions and they lead us up garden paths, they lead us to suffering, and they cause the universe and ourselves to appear wrongly. So our job, one way of saying what our job is as far as being a Buddhist is concerned, is to know the mind, to recognize the misconceptions and to argue with them and get rid of them because they're causing us suffering. So the root lie, known in Buddhism as marikpa, in Tibetan as marikpa, unawareness, ignorance, or known colloquially as ego grasping, causes us to believe totally in a real, solid, concrete, separate, independent self, and indeed everything else. And this is the root of all the other problems. And so finally we have to uproot that one. And so what that thinks, that delusion thinks that everything is independent. We think there's an independent I, independent of causes, independent of parts, independent of the mind, especially the mind that labels it that. And so we have to understand interdependence. And there's very detailed ways of describing interdependence. And then on the basis of understanding interdependence, this triggers the insight into how, therefore, that independent I simply doesn't exist. In other words, the absence. We get to realize the absence or the emptiness of the independent I that actually doesn't exist, which is what ego grasping clings to.